Alrighty, we're gonna start working on the image here and go from there and move on progress in this little video. Sorry I didn't make it last week. I had some things where I was a little under the weather. I hadn't gotten COVID, but sinus infection nonetheless. So I moved the this canvas over just to get it lined up with where I want the horizontal stabilizer to be. And I'm going to create a new component up here by right clicking, click new component, and okay, and that's where we're at now. We have that selected. That's where we're going to go with this. Now when I did some things here a little prematurely. This tab back here in the back is actually going to get taken up by the stabilizer, so we'll have to come back and make some more tabs in here, but that's no big deal. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and create a sketch right here on this plane, this horizontal plane. And first thing I want to do is draw a center line down the middle. And usually when I have symmetrical items, I like to have a center line to work from. And we're just going to start our sketch. We really don't need the fuselage body here for this, so we can turn that off. Alright. And I'm holding down Command, or you can hit Control, I think, on the PC, because it doesn't always want to snap where I want it to. And here we just want to go the line. Doesn't want to go where I want, so I'm going to go a little past it, and I'll come back and trim that. And I think that's kind of what happened right here. I got this new microphone, so hopefully it sounds a little better. It is definitely sensitive, that's for sure. Alright, and I'm going to draw this so that it has notches in the leading and trailing edges of the elevator and the horizontal stab, just to make it easier to build where you're assured that it's going to lock in. So I'm going to hit this offset tool. Come in here and select that, and instead of what the plan called for was 3/8, I'm gonna go 1/2 inch. So you got to make that a negative. There we go. And since this is going to the leading edge, usually it goes all the way to the end, so I'm gonna do that there also. And I'm going to come back in and put in our elevator hinge line. And you can hear my fan heating up on or coming up on my computer. And I'm going to do an offset here. And I'm just going to go 1/32. And again, the nice thing about Fusion, you can put in fractions, you can put in decimals, you can put in inches no matter what your document settings are. Like mine are set to inches because, yes, I live in the USA. And you could set them however you want and still come back in and put in a different dimension. Okay, so on the ribs, I want to go in a little bit. So I'm going to offset this again, and I'm going to offset this 3/8. Let's see here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ribs to that line. I didn't do my offset back there. Make that 0.5. And that works right there. And the ribs, I'm gonna do a thin extrude, and I'll show you. It's really simple, and for stuff like this, it's kind of handy. Let's come back in and go to there's good. Okay. And let's do an offset here. One of the things when you do an offset, it won't let you offset an offset line, so you have to break the relationship. You can right click on that, and I think it's here where you can say delete coincident, or you can just click on the little icon there and hit delete, and it is no longer associated with the one that you made it from. So here we want to go 1/2 inch, and we'll do another offset 3/8. Or for all my other people in the world, we'll make it 9.5 millimeters. Change this to millimeters. And that's pretty close to 3/8 for me. And come on in here and draw this. We could probably... Yeah, that's fine. I was going to say we could probably come from here to there. And that way we know we're lined up. There's just 3 of those. We could have also done an offset or a rectangular pattern to create these ribs, and later on we may do that with other parts. Okay, so we just draw one side, and I need to draw this centerpiece. I'm going to do mine a little bit different. Yeah, I like to go a little bit wider just to be good, and I think I'm going to do a little bit different piece back here as well. That's not what I wanted. It was close. Let's yeah, let's click there and there. Call that good. And I want to extend this line into what would be our 3/8 line, like we did up here, or 9.5 millimeters. Negative. I know a lot of CAD programs, once you set up your preferences, you can't go in there and change your unit of measure, but Fusion doesn't seem to mind too much. Okay, what I want to do now is mirror all this. Let's trim these lines first, where they're hanging over our center line. Make sure nothing else is hanging over the center line. Here we go. And these are either too short or hanging over. Nope, that's not it. And normally when it's touching, you get you don't get the little point on there. Let's see what happens. So we want to select all of this. Except for the center line. And our mirror is going to be that center line. And it looks like everything is closed, so that is what we want. So that's a good thing. Alright, we can finish this sketch. Now this is going to go below the surface of the fuselage. Right now it's on top, so we're going to go down 3/16 of an inch. So let's go to extrude, and You kind of don't want to extrude all of it at the same time because you're going to end up with too many pieces connected. I want you to notice where these drawings were not always symmetrical back in the day. So we could extrude that, this, and this is one of the reasons why, even though people say, hey, can you cut out this set of plans? I tend to like to redraw them before I actually cut them out, just to find mistakes. Because they're out there, trust me. Some plans and drafts people were better than others. Alright, none of that's touching. I can probably extrude this and that and that. Yeah, drawing all those ribs. I could have come back and drawn them later, but that's okay. Nope, I don't want that. Oh, I see where this is going to collide. We'll split that. Alright, more tedious than I wanted. Okay, so let's go down 3/16 of an inch. Negative 0.1875. Let's turn the fuselage off because we don't want it connected to that. And that should work. Okay, so let's bring our sketch back in. And I'm going to turn off all of these bodies because I want to extrude these other parts. That one won't have one. This one will. And I'm going to make this notch into those leading and trailing edges. Nope, I don't need that. Okay. Negative 0.1875. And new bodies, click OK. We'll come in and turn on these. And we have all that. And now for the ribs. Let's gonna grab that again. We're gonna select thin extrude. Then we can select our lines. Those are connected. I probably shouldn't have drawn them that way. Yeah, we'll make it work. Okay. So here we want to set the direction. Of course, is going to be one way. We'll go distance because we're going to go, or we don't even have to go distance. We can just click the bottom of wherever we're going to go, and it's going to automatically extrude to that much. We want it to be a new body. We want the wall thickness to be 1/4, so 0.25, and we want the wall location to be in the center. So if you look at this, you see here's our line, and now it's in the center. If you change it to the side, it's going to go to one side or the other side, and here we're going to go center. And we're gonna make sure that's new body. Let's turn all this off. We also want that included. And this included. Okay. And hit OK. So there's our ribs, and on these we're going to trim these up. I'm going to go to split body, and we'll split these bodies that got to be too long. And the splitting tool is going to be this line and this line. We're going to click OK. Let's go and turn our sketch off. And we want to get rid of these extra bodies. Remember, we're going to remove, not delete. And I know which ones I'm clicking on because when I click on it, it gives me the little dash line down there. So we hit remove. For some reason, that one looks short. So does that one. We can fix it. Yeah, it is a little short. But that's an easy fix. Let me turn my canvas off. And I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to extrude this face out 1/8 of an inch, 0.125, which is about 3 millimeters for some of you people. For the rest of the world, I should say. And there we go. Now those are all the right length. Okay, you see how they're hanging over? So we're going to go up here to combine. We want to cut, keep tools. So I want to cut this with all of these. So we're going to select all of these tools. And there we go. And you can do the same on these end pieces if you wanted to. That's up to you. I'm probably not going to cut this airplane out or build it. This was just a really good demo because it was simple and good clean lines. And let's modify this. And we want this to be the tool, this to be the tool. That one's short. This to be the tool. Okay. Let's go in here and fix those shorties. Okay. Yep, let's do that combine operation once more. Alrighty. So there you have a horizontal stab. Now, I did not, in my cardinal rule, I did not fully dimension the sketch, but I've gone over that before, and so make sure you fully dimension those sketches. Do as I say, right? Now we need to make this, we're going to cut this into the fuselage, so I'm going to hit combine, and first let's trim this. And the body we're going to trim it with is this one and this one. And that works. And now let us do the fuselage sides with the same tools. Okay, so now if we turn the horizontal stab off, you can see we got a nicely notched top piece. We'll have to come in and put in some tabs. And we have this horizontal stabilizer. Now, let's do one thing with this, because this leading edge is connected, and it's not supposed to be. Same thing with back here. So I'm just going to go split body. And I want to split all these bodies. Well, no, not that one. Let's, before we do that, I need to split this piece back here. See where they're tied together? So that's one piece that we don't want that to be. So sometimes creating offset planes in different areas is really beneficial for doing stuff like this. And I'm going to create a plane just off of this flat side, and it goes straight across. So now when I go to split body, and I'm going to use this plane that I made as my tool. Yeah, let's turn that off, and you can see that we now have separate bodies. Just like that. Okay, so now we want to split these two in the middle. So let's go back and turn the sketch on. Split body, we want to split this one and this one, and the tool we're going to use is that line that it won't let us use. That's okay. I'm actually going to put a plane on that line, and to do that I do plane at angle, and let's make it 90 degrees. So now it's running perpendicular to our fuselage, or to our horizontal stabilizer. So like that, cut with that, and that should be it. Turn the sketch off, and there you have a horizontal stab. And of course I recommend going in and labeling all these things so you know what they are, and it's better management. But for this video we've talked about that stuff, so no sense in hashing it out again. Alrighty, I hope you guys are getting this. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and hopefully this microphone's a little better. I hope you guys are having a good New Year's. Thanks.